This is a weird video, and I feel incredibly uncomfortable doing it, but I think it's kind of important because I've been given this incredible platform to communicate with, and I think with it being Mental Health Awareness Week, it's important to try and help reduce the stigma around mental health by owning up, I guess, to my own anxieties and to talk a little bit about the things that have affected me over the years and still affect me to this day. This is not a funny episode. It's not scripted. I literally don't even have any bullet points written down. I just feel like I have a duty to try and alleviate maybe some of the feelings that other people in the world have by saying, look at me, I'm Paul Hibbert, I have anxiety problems. There'll probably be a whole bunch of jump cuts just like the one you just saw, because I'm going to get uncomfortable and not know what I'm saying and think, you know what, I'm blathering on, this is boring. So I apologize in advance if this video is all over the place. I guess I should start by saying what my personal issues are. I have tremendous social anxiety. I'm welling up already talking about it because it's not comfortable. So I'm nervous because I don't want this to come off in a way that makes me look weak. And that is, I guess, one of the biggest stigmas around mental health. I guess I should talk about my issues first. So my issues are I suffer terribly with social anxiety. I am a very sociable person, but I feel horrific anxiety sometimes when I feel like I'm at the place that I've been desperate to get to, which is the center of attention. And I think everybody with anxiety feels that way. They kind of feel like they're two people. One of us wants to be that sociable center of attention, and the other part of us just doesn't want to talk to anybody and is utterly terrified. Even sometimes with my best friends, I have been in a car journey with somebody and thought, oh my God, we're the only people in the car. I now have a duty to entertain this person and to speak and to communicate things and ideas and thoughts and feelings. And I get panicky thinking, what if this person thinks I'm an idiot now because I haven't spoken for 10 seconds? And I think one of the things I'd like to share with people, if they feel that way, is one of the things that helped me. I saw for a while a counselor to talk about my anxiety because I was struggling to get a job because I didn't dare go for job interviews. And the one thing that she told me, at least in friendship circles, is you're not responsible to fill dead air. No more responsible, at least, than the other person that you're with. And sometimes I can remind myself of that and stave off a panic attack. If you've ever experienced a panic attack, it is the most crippling feeling. Panic attacks will build in your chest and they will make their way up to your throat, and they feel like your heart is going to explode in your chest. Your heart beats at 1 billion miles an hour and you literally think you're going to die if you don't move. And I have tried to sit in a room and stave off a panic attack after it's been way too late, and the panic attack has been overtaking my body, and I can see my frame physically shifting because of the rate at which my heart is pounding. And your hands go numb and your arms go weak. And I've been in a position before at work where I've been trying to give a presentation in this state. And you can't move your arm. I am unfortunate enough to have experienced a panic attack whilst giving a presentation at work. And it becomes impossible to actually function. You can't move your arms anymore because they've just gone dead. And I can't explain what this is. I can't explain where this came from. I didn't experience panic attacks until I was in my mid-30s. I got past the 30-year-old mark before I finally experienced my first panic attack. And it is the most terrifying thing, because even once you've gotten away from that place and you go and hide and you're trying to think about what happened, instead of feeling better because you're away, you feel a million times worse because you know you've got to go back and either explain yourself or make up an excuse. So what causes anxiety? I feel like I'm giving a review. I'm doing a review of my own mental health. Anxiety can come from nowhere. And this is, I think, something that people don't understand about it, is it can literally just come from nothing. You can be the most grounded person 1 minute, and then the next minute your heart is racing and you don't know what's going on, and nothing has changed. It's often, I think, deep-seated stuff, things that have been weighing on you for years that you didn't even realize weighed on you, and something can trigger that thing in your brain without even knowing what it is. I suffer terribly when it comes to giving presentations because I know that if I have a panic attack, it's going to be horrendously obvious to everybody involved that I've had a panic attack. This is why I don't like doing anything live with my channel, because I know if I have a panic attack, it's going to look weird to anyone that doesn't get it. And just knowing that the possibility I could have a panic attack is enough to cause a panic attack. It's like this ridiculous self-perpetuating thing where just thinking about it can cause it. And I think I wanted to talk a little bit about the worst experience that I think I probably had and why my anxiety got as bad as it did. I am extremely fortunate now to do this for a living, which is incredible because I'm so well supported by not only my family and my friends, but also by complete strangers who just can't wait to tell me, "Good job, Paul. Well done. We like you," to help keep my ego above water because I am very self-critical. So when I was really low was because I was getting made redundant from my job. And my job was being made redundant because it had become useless. There was no longer a need for me to manage anybody because everybody under me, bar one lady who was very good at taking care of herself, had been made redundant. And so I started to feel like a fraud. How could I apply to new jobs knowing full well that I've got nothing to tell these people of recent history, because recent history has just been me sat around watching nothing happen and watching Facebook pretty much. And the feeling of being a fraud meant that when I took this phone call from this guy as part of an interview process, I froze because he said, "Can you tell me what's led you to this point?" And I thought, I'm okay with telling about the last 10 years, but once I get to the last 6 months, I'm going to feel like a complete embarrassment. And the whole thing before 6 months just disappeared from my brain, and all of a sudden I couldn't say anything, and I didn't know how to respond to this guy. That's when I had my first major panic attack with my heart rising in my chest and my face flushing and all the embarrassing stuff that goes along with it. And I had to tell him, "I'll call you back," and put the phone down. He knew what had happened and he wouldn't pick up the phone to me. He decided he didn't want a manager that was going to have that problem. And the consequence of that was every interview going forwards, I thought, I'm going to do the same thing again. And everybody I ever speak to is going to think I'm completely useless because what good is a manager if he can't talk to people? And then I thought, well, I'm going to lose my house and I'm going to lose my partner and I'm going to lose my family and everything is going to come out from under me because I can't function. And my doctor put me on everything from diazepam to sertraline to finally propranolol before I was okay again. And I wasn't okay because of the pills. I was okay because I was able to tell myself I'm okay because of the pills. Propranolol just stopped my heart rate from increasing. And I realized this when I was on a treadmill because I was at the gym working out, trying to run away from my demons, literally running in place. And the propranolol stopped me from my heart from elevating. I could see this because I got my thumbs on the things and my heart rate wouldn't go above something like 60. And I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And I thought, that's it. Next time I have a panic attack, if I'm on these things, my heart rate isn't going to get above that level and it will be manageable again. Because even if I have the panic attack and my face flushes and my arms go weak, at least my heart won't feel like it's going to explode and I'll be able to continue to sit there and hopefully calm down. Propranolol, if you've never tried it, if you have an anxiety disorder, I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe it to you. And I can't say that my experience will be the same as your experience. So please don't go away from this thinking I'm going to ask my doctor for propranolol. I'm just telling you that's what worked for me. And when I tell you that's what worked for me, that is a sticking plaster. That isn't the end result. I go for 2 walks a day, 20-minute walks, and every minute of that walk, I am trying to put my mind in order. I'm trying to figure out what it is that's wrong. Why am I feeling anxious? Is there something I can do about that anxiety? Could I maybe write down all of my problems and tick them off one at a time? Is there something I can do to make myself feel better up here? Because no amount of popping pills is going to do that. The pills are great for when I have to go to a wedding or a funeral or I have to go and get measured for a suit, or I have to go and speak publicly in some way, shape, or form, but they are just a sticking plaster. If you suffer with your mental health, you should talk to people about it. You shouldn't let anybody make you feel like your mental health doesn't matter or the things that you are going through are in some way stupid, because they are the opposite of stupid. I honestly believe that the reason I have so much anxiety is because I am overthinking. It's because of my intellect that I struggle with my mental health. It's because I know what the world is like and I know what people might be thinking because my brain is going a million miles an hour. I am pleased with my brain. I am pleased that I have this level of intellect, but the anxiety needs to go the hell away. And sometimes a pill will do that for me. And sometimes not a pill. As I just said, the pill is a sticking plaster, and I don't want to go around in circles. But really, if you suffer with anxiety, you feel like your mental health is deteriorating in any way, shape, or form, you should let it out of your face hole. You need to talk to people, because if you try and handle it yourself, if you just keep it up in here, it doesn't go anywhere. I do a lot of speaking out loud to myself when I go on my walks. It's kind of embarrassing. If people are walking their dogs, I'm like, go away, stop looking at me. I'm trying to talk to myself, and I kind of purse my lips and talk into my teeth. But I do, I talk out loud. If you don't let these things out of your body, then they stay in your chest. If you can't speak to another human being, I urge you to just speak out loud. My friend says I'm insane when I told him that, but I told him that because I wanted him to know that I do suffer, because I think it's important that the more it's talked about, the more this stigma goes away. And the more that people know about it, the more they can try and help you out when they see it coming, by saying things to perhaps calm you down, or just giving you your space if they need to give you your space. It's difficult for me to talk about because I am a 39-year-old man, and men don't do that, do they? We don't cry and we don't talk about our mental health, especially if you're a comedian on YouTube. But this is me. I hope it has been eye-opening for you. If you're wondering how the hell I do this for a living, it's because I script the hell out of everything. So this is cathartic for me. This is a very different thing for me to just speak from the heart without thinking about anything from a perspective of writing it down. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. That'll tell YouTube's algorithms it was a good video and more people should see it. I'm not going to do my whole ending thing. Thank you to my patrons as always, but in fact, I'll put their names up anyway, because I don't feel like I should ever make a video without thanking these people. But this is not a monetized video. I don't plan to make anything from this. I just feel like I have a platform. I have anxiety, and therefore I should destigmatize as best I can by talking about it. On Saturday, there will be videos of me wearing wigs and doing funny voices. Don't you worry. See you on Saturday.